Hello and welcome back to LovelyGirlieBits. So today's video is as much for me as it is for you. I'm going to do a tour of my garden because I know in each week's videos, as I'm like kind of doing the jobs, I'll show different bits that are blooming or things that I've like gone over. I'll give you like a little bit of progress updates, but I was like, no, I haven't done like a proper full garden tour in ages, and we did one in last week's video over in Catherine's garden and it's just gorgeous. Oh my god, so nice. But I just thought, oh, he's a little bit wonky, sorry, distracted. But I thought today I would just show you the different areas, because even now, like, it's the end of June, I know that like when I go to watch this now again, let's say in the middle of winter when it's miserable and cold and grey, I gotta look back at this and go, oh, look at what it looked like, look at what it can be, because I want next year's garden to be even better than this year. So this is my garden. It needs to be weeded. There's lots of jobs, but I don't have time this week to do it. I am doing something lovely. You'll find out about that next week. But if you do want sneaky peeks, head over to Instagram. I think I will be sharing kind of updates every day over there. Like, one of my learnings that I said I wasn't going to do this year, and I did, is leaving things in pots for too long. So I think if I have time tomorrow, I might repot some things. I won't film it because it's boring to watch, but I'll do this. But like this guy, yeah, this could do with being repotted. It's a little sunflower, but look, he's a little bit wonky. Aren't we all? I haven't been out in the garden in the last couple of days myself, so I'm sure I'm going to see things and I'll be like, ooh, didn't know that was happening. But let's get cracking. So this is the cottage garden in containers. It's one of my favourite parts of the garden, and I spoke about this in more detail actually in a different video. I'll leave it linked below, but I just talked about like my different learnings when it comes to container gardenings, what I need to do, what I have to do. But so far, like, it's been looking okay. Like, I think this pot here needs to be redone. See things like here, the catmint, that needs to be cut back, and I know I'm going to get a second flush out of that. I don't know what this gorgeous specimen is. I must have a look on my app to see, but that's blooming. This pot here, oops, this pot here, a bit disappointing, don't know what it is. And then here all the foxgloves are going over. Whatever this is, purple, it's gorgeous. It's like properly blooming. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave those foxgloves there for now, let them set seed. I'm going to try and save some seeds, let them fall around. This little aster has been a triumph. So I've got one there and I've got one over there, and it adds like a little bit of texture and interest, but also that repetitiveness. So rather than having just one of them, it's nice to kind of have another one, and I might actually plant those out in the border. So I need to clean this. I need to turn this into a proper pond. This is a pink achillea. I think it's supposed to be magenta. That's looking good. And then there's like a little white achillea here, I think, that's starting to come up. Now the salvia is looking great, but I feel like I need to cut back some of the wood. I'll do that next week. But then also I'm in the process of killing, you know, the clematis. We knew it was going to happen. This is it from this side, and I think it's important whenever you are doing up your garden to like think about the different ways that you're going to be looking at it. So, you know, I love sitting on the swing looking down at all the different plants this way. So if you're, let's sit on the swing. So if you're sitting on the swing, this is what you see. So it's like the depth and the movement. I love that when the wind catches everything. So I think it looks great from here. If you're sitting at the table, this is what it looks like. If you're looking at it from the other side of the garden, that's what it looks like. If you're standing at the back door, that's what it looks like. Yes, we have a washing line. That's always going to be there. We're so used to it now, I don't even see it half the time. But see, there's just so much interest in that border. I love it so much. So last October I dug this border because I wanted to be an extension of the container garden, and I love it. Yes, it needs to be weeded. I think I need to cut back some of the things, but like, look, I love this grass, whatever it is, and it has thrived this year in the ground. This is a little hydrangea that I bought last year, and it was only small, and it's blooming down there. We got some new buds up here. Whatever this is gorgeous. I think I need more of it. I'll find out what it is. Maybe I'll be able to do cuttings. The buddleia looks like it could bloom soon. I wasn't sure if that was the right area for it, but we'll see. This is the geranium I was talking about. It's properly sprawling out. And here, needs to be cut back, needs to be weeded. But this just needs to be fuller, I think. There's nothing there supposed to be, it needs to be weeded. But look at this foxglove. It's like all of those little fronds, whatever you want to call them, has come from one main stem. Is that normal? I don't know. But I love them. So I don't want to cut them back yet because, or should I? If I cut them back, will I get more flowers? Or is it past the season? This is blooming. I think it's in a stilby. It's gorgeous. But if you would like to see here, in this pot, this long pot, I have been looking after weeds really well. So I'm going to fix that next week. I have a climbing hydrangea on the fence, and I think next year it's going to really start to take off, just to give like that little bit of coverage along the fence. So yes, as you see, I love my cottage garden area. I think it's fab. And then this year I dug this corner border, and it was supposed to be kind of like a transition between this border, which is kind of soft pink, purples, whites, into this border. But we'll talk about that in a second. That has like lots of kind of stronger colours. But I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it's gorgeous. So I planted out this little guy here a couple of weeks ago. It seems to be doing well. Million bells. Oh, can you see how tiny they are? Like little tiny little fuchsias. And so we've got like a Achillea there. Here is the Erigeron, and I think it's finally going to bloom soon. See that little bud? See the little bud there? Oh, I'm just dying for that to bloom and then expand. So here is a lupin. I don't know if you remember, I cut it back a couple of weeks ago. I don't see any new flowers on here, so I'm going to let it set seed. And this is how it does it. So you'll see they're like little furry guys. When they're brown and dry and kind of crispy, I'll take them off for next year. What's interesting about this is that that's what the lupin on this side of the border looks like. And there's still lots of flowers in that side. Interesting. Got another Erigeron. We've got Osteospermum. This one took ages to kind of evolve. I don't know, was it the weather this year? Who knows? But look at this. So up this obelisk is a yellow climbing rose. Isn't that gorgeous? There's lots of buds. And it looks really healthy too. So earlier this year, I got a flush of colour. Then it got black spot. All the leaves fell off. And then it just started sprouting again, and it looks so healthy. So I need to deadhead that. But there's an open bloom there. It's gorgeous. So I love the way it starts off at like a stronger yellow with like little hints of red to go into that. I love this geranium. I can't remember what it's called. It's pink, it's vibrant. I'm going to plant that out. Yeah, I just really like the height and the structure. I just have to figure out where I want to plant it. And then the Sweet William has just bloomed. And that's just both in pots. It's been in the same pot for a few years. I must actually give it a feed. Is that Sweet William? No. Is it? Or is that... I don't know. I think that's Sweet William down there. The little pinky bits. Anyway, it's looking great. I love that the olive tree gives a little bit of structure, but I think I'd love a tree, like a proper tree, to give shade, because that's something that we're missing from the garden is shade. Like we always usually sit up here on the patio and it's just like a hot spot, a sunspot. Could I do too well in the blazing hot sun? Okay, so let's go into this area. So I put my arch up. It's definitely wonky, but the sweet peas are thriving. So I put string up each panel to help them grow and attach, and they're doing that. So there's definitely less sweet peas on this side compared to this side. Oh, I see some setting seed. I need to take that off. See here? So it's too early for them to set seed, so I don't want the plants to send their energy into that. I want them to send their energy into growing up. It's fab. This is the other arch here, and I have roses going up each side now. These are the first year of these roses, and I think that's as high as they're going to get. I do like the fullness. I need to find out about pruning and that. This one is looking a little bit worse for wear. It looks a little bit floppy. I'm going to deadhead it and see if it comes back, but yeah, I've been watering it, I've been feeding it. Try not to water it too much or feed it too much, but it's looking a little bit worse for wear. This one looks much healthier, so I'm hoping by next year they'll grow up here. So I need to see if I need to prune both kind of hard the way we would the shrub rose. Along here is my little ode to Provence. So my lavender is doing well. I might actually harvest that soon. But I've got like a couple of sunflowers. One was probably mauled by slugs. My little jasmine now seems to have new flowers, so that's looking healthy there. This is the wisteria tree. It's very young still. I think I'll go a few years before it's going to look like Bridgerton. But in one of my recent videos I put out this geranium just to give like a little bit of coverage on the ground. It's looking well there. It seems to be taking off. The veg beds are looking good. The tomato plants seem to be doing well. The peppers. Now what I'm going to do is, this is not a good year for peas at the back, so I'm going to take out those peas and put maybe, I don't know, some autumn vegetable in there anyway. Here we have the sweet corn. Now here I didn't do the three sisters because I forgot to sow courgettes in time, so I have a mix of beans and peas, and the idea behind it, and you can see it happening here, is that the sweet corn acts, oh my god, that's a bean leaf, so the sweet corn acts as a support for the beans. You can see it here in there as well. It looks a bit like mad, doesn't it? Ooh, look, we've got the beginning of the little silks down there. Oh, that's a good one there too. So I'm hoping this continues to do well. This seems to be a different variety from the corn I did last year. I don't know if you can see at the stem, there's like a main stem and then two either, like one either side. I don't know, I'm going to keep an eye on that anyway. Ooh, okay, in this bed the carrots are doing well. I'm going to need to prune the tomatoes, but I can see flowers. I need to prune and support them actually. Okay, that'll be tomorrow's job. So see these beans here, I put this string up to help support them and help them grow up. They're not climbing beans. I didn't know that. I know for next year. And I have the marigolds in here to help protect the tomatoes against like green fly and stuff. And the peas did not do well. Now I know I left them in the pots for ages, so I will take full responsibility. But these two on this corner, they are supposed to be cucumbers. Don't know if they'll grow in a bed. We'll see. Look at this. Climbing nasturtium. I need to kind of hoosh it over that way to get it out of the way, just to give the carrots room to grow. But this pot is way too full. I knew it would be. Climbing nasturtiums. I've got 3 tomato plants in there. The sweet peas are overtaking, so I need to sort that out. I might like prune the sweet peas a bit or kind of tie them up again, just to give the tomatoes a bit of room. Sorry, I meant to say, look at my olive tree here. Oh, she's looking good. When I first got this, it was only about up to there. And it looks deadly. My apples, I've like lots there. Seems to be doing well. But I was watching Gardener's Road last week and Adam said we need to kind of take off some of the extra apples just to help like not bend the stems over, and that seems to be what's happening here. And there's a stem over there, so I'll do that. I'm just starting to pick my first apple from there. I can't wait. So can you see the size of that verbena? That was not that big last year. I think it only got up to about maybe here last year, but it's just gone wild. And like before, I used to just grow verbena in pots and it never went that big, so the soil must be good for it. It must like it there. It's good for structure, but it's kind of overpowering a little bit. I had a great crop of strawberries this year. Oh, and I see here, look, see here, this is the runner. So this here, what I'm going to do is get a little pot full of soil, sit it in there, and I have these little pegs that will help to kind of keep it close to the soil. That'll root and I'll get a new strawberry plant next year. But you know, there's a lot going on here. A lot going on. And here, okay, this is weird. So earlier this year, I kind of pruned everything in this bed. So I cut back the Mexican ponytail grass. I cut back the verbena, which as you can see is massive. I cut back whatever that was. I cut back the terracotta achillea, that's those, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous. But these are very flat there and there. Now I know that they're bigger plants, but some smaller versions of them over here that don't seem to be floppy. So it could just be a matter of plant size, but look. See these little spiky guys? I think they're crocosmere. I think they're yellow ones that I planted out last year. So the idea behind this border was to be like the really colourful, the bright one, because I'm at that phase where I don't know what kind of plants I love more than others. I just love everything. So I just want to grow everything. So this is like my ode to Monty's jewel garden. This is like the jewel border, but it definitely needs to be wider. It's not fit for purpose. Everything's just packed in. So again, more verbena, but it's nice against that terracotta achillea. Let me show you up close. Isn't that gorgeous? The little insects love these. I have some calendula here which are doing really well. I need to cut back those pelargoniums. And now finally we have blooms on the roses. This is very slow to bloom this year. But look, it is stunning. The geranium that I planted out there a couple of weeks ago, Catherine Deneuve, she seems to be happy there. Look at the verbena, isn't that just so cute? It's just a little bit wah 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 here with the grass, so maybe they just need to be supported. Maybe I'll get supports, but this one seems to be a little bit livelier. Like, I haven't been overwatering them. I haven't been well, maybe they have been underwatering them. I don't know. But back here we have the Carlo Aster. So this is going to be full of kind of purple daisies, kind of later in the summer. So last year I planted out this border and I filled it full of plants that kind of give late summer interest. It includes like the grasses, the terracotta achillea, whatever that thing is up there. But I'm not happy with this border. It doesn't pack a punch. It doesn't make me go, oh, I love it so much. There's lots to do in that, but I don't want to just go willy-nilly. I want to kind of plan, but I think I could definitely bring it out, widen the border and add lots more interest in there. So that's the mission. This section is a bit of a mishmash. I will be tackling this, and yes, my barrels are still there, but I do have a plan for them, so stay tuned for that. I do love the crocosmia. They'd actually look nice in that border. See, doesn't it just look really untidy? It looks like a mishmash. Anyway, the crocosmia is fabulous. It's starting here in this clump, so Mum has kind of tied it up with string to help it not flop over too much. It doesn't really go with this section, but that's okay. So that's like a little overview of the Jardin. Still so much to do, so much I can do, so much I want to do, so much that I don't even know how to do. But it'll be fine. But I do have plans for the patio and I will show you those next month. That's just a little overview. I can see rain clouds coming, but that's what the garden looks like at the end of June. There's a lot to do. I feel like next month I'll be busy kind of making it look its best. It still has such potential. But I was watching, what was I watching? Oh, Love Your Garden with Alan Titchmarsh over the weekend, and he was saying that you should go to the garden centre every month and buy like a couple of new things so that your garden always looks lovely and full. Okay, I will do that. Now in fairness, I haven't been to the garden centre in weeks because I feel like I was losing the run on myself. I was spending so much money on stuff, like the amount of money, I can't even think to add up how much I've spent on the garden this year. So I was like, no, I need to cut back, and I am going to try and do, sorry, there's like a big seagull there. He comes, I've no drink for you, pal. Oh no, I'll give you some in a minute. Oh, if I move the camera he'll fly away, but he's huge. His name's Colin. I'll try, hold on. You see him? Colin, I'll give you water in a minute. Yeah, but I do want to do cuttings this year. I want to try and get as many free plants out of what I have, because I need to rein myself in from spending, but I just love it. But yeah, he was saying to go to the garden centre, so Alan Titchmarsh knows what he's talking about. Do you ever just like sit and look at the garden and just be peaceful? Like I'm sitting in a tree essentially. So yeah, see this tree here? I have plans for that. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go for now. Thanks a million for watching. I will see you in next week's video. What plants do I need for my cottage garden / jewel garden / patio / vegetable garden? What vegetables are you going to plant for this autumn? I'm thinking Brussels sprouts again, because they were easy to grow. I don't like them, but I give them away. The sun's coming back. Just like the perfect temperature today. It was really, really nice cool breeze. But yeah, listen, thanks so much for watching. Your support, your comments are always so gorgeous. I really do appreciate it. This is such a nice community on here. I think you're just the nicest bunch. So tell me to stop spending money on my garden, please. Okay, see you in next week's video. Thanks, Will. Bye.